Hello, it seems that Zoom isn't working this evening, so maybe everyone's on a Sunday family Zoom quiz or something. So I did start speaking to you all, but it all went a bit pear-shaped. So I'm going to try and do this again, and hopefully it'll all work out fine. So anyway, I've discussed the 200 hour and the teens in the last video, and this is my new baby, the 300 hours. So I had it all good to go. It's been years of study and writing. It's meant so much to me. I was just about ready to put it all out there, and then COVID hit and all online became the new norm. So it really was something that I sat with, and I wasn't sure that I wanted to do. I thought, am I going to sell my soul here by doing this? But you know, as I said in the last video, that what we practice in the West is a mixture of Swedish gymnastics, Indian bodybuilding. Really, at the end of the day, we've adapted yoga to suit, you know, the way our world is. We need to start adapting, and we need to transmute or understand the kleshas, the obstacles to enlightenment. So I had to get rid of my aversion to online yoga, and also get rid of my attachment to teaching in real life. So there is positives to this, and the fact that to do online, you have to be really clear. There has to be more clarity of speech, that you have to be able to articulate how you're going to get people there. It has to be a little bit more precise so that there's understanding. And it also means that when you do the lecture, it's recorded, and you can go back and look at it again. And what I've done with the people that I'm training right just now is, because I have an understanding that people have different ways of learning, I do lecture live. If they don't attend, they have to send me an online review afterwards, once they have looked at the recording and practiced it. But also I write up, I've written stuff that's relevant to it, and give them like a mini quiz. So they're learning in different ways and having an understanding of the same thing in different ways too. So all my trainings, even if it's the children's or the teens, they're pretty much life transforming, and it really gets you to get to a deeper place within yourself. But also it's about really being authentically yourself. So I didn't want to churn out generic 300-hour teachers, because I did find that after doing 500 hours, which I really enjoyed doing it, but it was just taking your yoga that bit further, but you don't know where you want to take it. So what I want to do, as I do in my 200 hours, where I get you to find your authentic teaching self before you go out there to teach, and find that part of yourself. This is what I want to give with my 300 hours. But I also am aware that things change all the time, as we know, and also life's a bit unpredictable, and people have different ways of living, and things change, and we need to adapt. So, and people have families, people have work, but they're also dedicated to their practice. So I understand that. I am very much, as a teacher trainer, I'm there to guide you and support you on the path, but I'm not there to walk the path for you. So I have to give you some sort of level of, you've got to put the work in, but I will be there. So just because something's online doesn't mean to say it's a faceless thing. With my 200-hour people, we do live Zooms together, but we also we arrange to do video calls. So I understand that you are my individual student as well as there's the dynamic of the group, and each group dynamic has different requirements, and I always try and get you to a place where you need to be. Okay, but I'm also very open to, if things aren't working for you, or they don't feel right, or you feel you need more, you need to speak to me. I would always step out my own way. I'm not going to take it personally. I need to learn so I can grow with you, and I want to be the best that I can be so I can help you be the best that you can be. I'm so passionate about it. So I'm going to speak a little bit about the 300 hours. You can, so the 200 hours, you can take a year to do it, or you can do it as an intensive. Now the 300 hours, because it's 300 hours, you've got two years to complete. And you can do each module as an intensive if you want to. But each module you have a year to do. So it's not, there isn't a rush. You can go back to the recorded stuff. As long as you're paid up, you've done your exams, you've done all of your stuff within the time frame, it's all perfect. So some of you guys might have done the teens or the kids with me, and you want to do the 300 hours. If it's within the 2-year time frame, then that's perfect. So there's one compulsory module if you're doing the 300 hours, and I really enjoyed writing it up and studying it. So I've really, one of my teachers, Rod Stryker, is a tantric hatha yogi. I've got a few other, before I met him, I studied with Carlos Pomada for the tantric philosophy, and there's so much that I've studied for that, but it's part of I've integrated it as part of my practice. I've really, and I've worked with I'm going to be working with Octavio Salvado as well, which is one of Rod Stryker's students too. But I've already written up my course for my 100 hours, and you're taking the practices further. We're going to speak about any injuries and how to work with specific things like that. But we're also, there's a module for tantric hatha yoga, so like taking the practices a little bit deeper, which is one of my passions. So we're taking that, we're going further with the philosophy of yoga is one of my huge passions that I'm always studying and practicing, and I'm trying to apply. You know, I think that you should, if you're a teacher, you should embody what you teach. So it's like sitting back, sitting in the eye of the storm and practicing skill in action, making wise choices and performing your dharma well. So we're really going deeper with just vinyasa krama, wise progression. We're going to work with the energetics and the biodynamics of asana. For some of you guys who've done the 200 hours with me before, that's going to be something that, or if you've worked with any other, like Rod Stryker or any of his students, you have an understanding of that. But we're also going to speak about the psoas, taking that further, how to teach safely. We're going to speak about the humanities like dharma, samskaras, vikalpa, the subconscious, and we're teaching methodology. So really how to teach like in a safe way online. So we're going to do about some of the legal stuff too. So that's one of the first ones. I've got loads. This is like just one of the syllabuses. So it's to do the 300 hours. It is how much is it again? That's terrible. I think it's £2,000. Yeah, it's £2,000 over 2 years. So that's like you do the 100 hours, but you also choose your modules. Okay, but these modules are also separate within themselves. If you're a 200-hour teacher, if you do the yin, that'll ensure that you can be a yin yoga teacher. Same with the pregnancy. But if you're not a yoga teacher, you don't have a 200 hours or equivalent, and you do a yin, you're not trained to be a yin teacher. You've just got more of an understanding for your personal practice. Okay, so let's see the dates. I've written down all the dates for you so you have an understanding, and for you to know the hours of each one. So the 300 hours, it's offered in modular form, as I said, and must be completed within 2 years. So also includes a 15-hour advanced anatomy module with David Keel as well. So that begins in what's the 100 hour, the 100 hours, it begins on this 22nd of October, and it's a 9-day course, and it includes the Tantra module as well. You've got, if you're interested in children's yoga, that's the 19th of June, that's 40 hours, and the teens is 40 hours, and that's the 25th of June. So one that this has taken me years to do, and I'm now a Ayurvedic health specialist. I'm not an Ayurvedic practitioner or doctor, and I don't proclaim to be, okay? This is just how to apply the Ayurvedic, the science, sister science of yoga, how to apply Ayurvedic knowledge to your yoga practices. So how to teach a class to balance specific doshas, or how to understand your own body and others, and the times of day, the ages of people. It's so interesting. It's changes your life. So so it's a 40 hours, it's 4-day if you want to do it intensive, and that's 20th of July. And another one, I'm now a Monologist. So while lockdown's been on, I've been studying the neuroscience of trauma. I've studied the science of happiness with Yale University, which is very interesting. Become a Monologist, an Ayurvedic health specialist. I'm loving life right now. I'm just about to start doing an advanced tantric hatha teacher training, not for the certificate, just because I like it. So I'm doing yogic mythology and Monology. Now this is we're learning about the Hindu gods and goddesses, and it's not religious. So I'm not religious. I'm interested in different religions and the concept of what they're supposed to represent, which sometimes they end up not. I'm not teaching you Hinduism because it's not my thing, okay? This is like the gods and goddesses, the stories of them, how they're applied in your practice, and various mudras, mantras, pranayama techniques, and what it's associated with. It's really interesting. Interesting and fun, okay? And with that, we're working with the moon. Now, I've been doing this for a wee while now, and it changes your life. So what sort of practice to teach during each moon phase? You're going to learn about different moon phases and what types of practices to do, what types of pranayama, and what types of meditations, and learning more about the moon. The moon affects the tides, it affects women's cycles. It's the way the ancients lived and worked, and we're coming back to that. Okay, we're doing all this online stuff, but we need to strip back the bullshit and really start to listen to our intuition and do this, like, work with the stuff that this stuff's been around for so long, and it works. So it's not it's interesting, factual, but fun as well. Really changes your life. You can apply it. So if you're not wanting to do the 300 hours, it's good fun too. We're gonna have lots of fun. So we've also got, this is something that really, I work with a lot of people with chronic pain, fibromyalgia, trauma, and I come from a trauma background as well. I've come from a lot of that. So yoga, the way I've studied PTSD, I've studied trauma, I've studied so many different things to help my students and I've studied the neuroscience of trauma. I find it absolutely outrageously interesting, and it can be applied to everyone. I think everyone suffered some sort of trauma. So, and to be able to understand the workings of the brain and how to apply the yogic practices to it, it's so helpful. And it's how to apply it to yourself as well. And this includes restorative yoga as well. We're going to have some restorative. So that's 40 hours as well, and it starts on the 6th of November. I'm going to be starting up a yin yoga teacher training. which again is a standalone. So if you're 200 hours, you can become a yin yoga teacher from doing this, but it's also part of the 300 hours. So this starts the 24th of August. It's another 40 hours and it's 4-day. If you want to do it, it's an intensive, but again, you've got a year to do it. The pregnancy yoga training, again, another 40 hours. Again, it's a standalone module, and I'm going to include so mum and baby yoga too. But you're going to really, I work with a lot of Kundalini stuff, so I've actually practiced with and gone, worked with Gurmukh Korkolsa, and some of you guys who know me know how much I love Kundalini. I don't proclaim to be a pure Kundalini yoga teacher. Some of my teachers are Kundalini yoga teachers. I work with different types of lineages according to the energetics of the day or the room. Okay, so it's a great, so with the pregnancy, you're going to work with prenatal, postnatal, mother and baby, preparing for the birth, understanding the pelvis, and different practices to do. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm delving deeper just now. I'm actually studying that just now. Going to be studying with an amazing teacher, Sally Parks, as well. But I'm really looking forward to sharing pregnancy yoga module with you. And then the last one is seasonal yoga theming and workshop. So it's 20 hours and it starts on the 21st of November. The pregnancy one is 27th of yoga. I'm obsessed. 27th of November, if I didn't say that already. So the seasonal yoga is only a weekend. And seasonal yoga as in the way the ancients used to live their lives. So we're thinking about solstice, the equinox. We're thinking about different seasons and how to change your practices accordingly and what is more auspicious to do. I'm also going to speak you through different ways of theming and running workshops, and also I've taught, I've ran retreats all over the world. I was supposed to be running one in Croatia in April, but hopefully I'll be running one in September. But I've traveled around the world doing these, and I want to share how you would do that. If something goes wrong, how would you do that? So it's about the legalities of that too. So it's how you would take your teachings further with that. So 20 hours as well. So where's I've got prices for each individual one. Let's see. For the seasonal yoga, the 20 hours, it's £200, and for the 40-hour ones, they're £300. If you just want to do the advanced 100 hours without doing the 300 hours, it's £550. Okay, so some of these courses might not be offered in the future online. Well, it's going to be offered in the future, but maybe not online. It's really dependent on the Yoga Alliance regulations and COVID, right? So the way things stand, these are Yoga Alliance accredited. Each individual's if you're signing up to the 300 hours, you'll be in a private Facebook group. And also if you're with the separate modules, you're going to be in a separate Facebook group as well, because there'll be people coming from that separately, but some of your teammates will be with you. And I post things that are relevant, your PDFs, your recorded stuff. So there'll be some live sessions, there'll be some pre-recorded. If it's live, if you're doing it as an intensive, most of it will be live, but it'll be in little segments. You're not going to be sitting there in front of a screen all day going like this. It's going to be in little 1.5 hour segments, because it's hard work just sitting looking at somebody speaking to you. So I understand that. So anything else do I need to share with you? I think that's all. But if you do have any further questions, or you want to see the syllabuses, or you want to know any more information, please give me a shout. I'm here, and I'm really excited to do this, and I really want to share it, and I want to help people find their yoga and share it, and so that, because everyone should do yoga, it's so nice, isn't it? So okay, so I'll stop gibbering away, and bye.